Hey Hoops fans, it's Chris in the house. Thrilled to have you back with us on Tips and Streams, the go-to spot for your NBA wagering wisdom. I'm charged up to dive into the heart of today's NBA showdowns, bringing you a thrilling lineup of games. Get ready for a deep dive into our keen predictions and insider tips, tailored just for you. Stay with us, and let's leap into the heart of today's NBA betting insights. Today's prediction is for matchup between Indiana Pacers and Denver Nuggets. As the hardwood heats up for a sizzling showdown between the Indiana Pacers and the Denver Nuggets, the Hoops universe is on the edge of its seat. The Pacers, cruising into the Mile High City with a solid 23-16 record, are lighting up the scoreboard with a whopping 126.113 points per game. They're shooting the rock with deadly accuracy, hitting 50.82% from the field and draining 38.16% from downtown. But their boards game, grabbing only 40.56 rebounds a game, might turn heads when stacked against the Nuggets' more robust 43.85. The Nuggets, flaunting a hefty 27-13 record, have been balling out in the league. With 160.118 points per game, their shooting is just a notch below the Pacers at 49.52%, but still packs a punch. Their three-ball, sitting at 37.59%, may not be as slick as Indiana's, but they're dishing out assists and snagging rebounds like pros, averaging 29.63 per game, showcasing a solid team hustle. Peeking at recent trends, the Pacers have been tearing it up, going 8-101 against the spread in their last 10 games. But their face-offs against the Nuggets, especially in the Mile High City, raise some red flags. They're 0-6 straight up in their recent duels with the Nuggets and have a grim 1-12 straight up record when battling it out in Denver. Meanwhile, the Nuggets have been owning their court with a 10-3 straight-up score in their last 13 games and an impressive 16-4 in their last 20 home games. Their home court mastery over the Pacers is something you can't ignore. Injuries could be game changers. The Pacers missing Tyrese Halliburton and maybe Jarace Walker might put a dent in their playmaking and scoring. On the Nuggets side, Julian Strawther sitting out might not be a big deal, thanks to their depth. Looking at their head-to-head in Denver, the Pacers have clinched only one win in their last 5 visits, covering the spread just twice. With these stats and their current road struggles, the Pacers are looking at an uphill battle. The bookies are tipping the Denver Nuggets with a minus 10-point spread and an over-under at 239.5 points. The Nuggets' home court prowess and the Pacers' Denver dilemma make the Nuggets the favorites to beat the spread. Plus, considering the Pacers' scoring skills and the Nuggets' recent overtrend, the total points are likely to shoot past 239.5. To sum it up, despite the Pacers showing some serious skills, their road trip troubles in Denver could be their downfall against the Nuggets' fortress. I'm betting on the Denver Nuggets not only to win, but also to cover the minus 10-point spread, with total points soaring over 239.5. Denver's balanced game and their home court history against the Pacers give them the upper hand. Today's prediction is for the game between Charlotte Hornets and Miami Heat. In the much-anticipated showdown at Miami's Kaseya Center, the Charlotte Hornets and the Miami Heat are gearing up for a riveting contest. Each team brings its distinct flair and challenges to the hardwood. The Hornets, despite a challenging season with just 8 wins against 28 losses, are buzzing with potential, thanks to LaMelo Ball and Terry Rozier's dynamic play. They're netting an average of 109.20 points per game, shooting 46.21% from the field and sinking 36.09% from beyond the arc. However, their defensive struggles, especially in guarding the three-point line, coupled with injuries to key players like Frank Ntilikina and Cody Martin, are significant hurdles. Meanwhile, the Miami Heat, standing stronger with 22 victories and 16 defeats, are heating up the Eastern Conference. They're slightly ahead in scoring, averaging 112.86 points per game, with a field goal success rate of 47% and an impressive 38.56% in three-pointers, thanks to standout performances from Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro. Yet, they're also grappling with injuries, affecting players like Kevin Love, Tyler Herro, and Jimmy Butler. Looking at recent performances and past encounters, the Heat appear to have the home court advantage. Their track record at home against Southeast Division teams is solid, and they've historically triumphed over the Hornets in Miami. This season, they've maintained a decent home record, winning 11 out of 18 games with an average margin of 5.8 points. The Hornets, conversely, have found road games challenging, particularly at the Kaseya Center following a loss, and haven't secured a win against the Heat this season. In the betting arena, the Heat are the favorites with an 8-point advantage and a total point expectation of 222.5. While the trends lean towards a Heat win, their habit of underperforming against weaker teams and current injuries suggest a tighter game. Thus, while the Heat might clinch the win, the Hornets, bolstered by LaMelo Ball's return, could defy the odds and cover the spread. Today's prediction is for the game between Sacramento Kings and Milwaukee Bucks. Tonight's hoops battle is set to be a real nail-biter as the Sacramento Kings hit the hardwood against the Milwaukee Bucks. The Kings, rocking a solid 23-15, are invading the Bucks' court, who hold a more impressive 27-12. Sacramento's got game, averaging 118.24 points, but the Bucks are shining brighter with 124.37. In shooting accuracy, Milwaukee's got the edge with a slick 49.99% from the field, edging out Sacramento's 47.79%. It's a tight race from downtown, with the Bucks draining threes at 38.00% and the Kings close behind at 37.23%. On the boards, it's almost a standoff. The Bucks snagging 44.42 rebounds a game, with the Kings right on their heels at 43.68. A game changer could be the Bucks coming off a back-to-back, having just taken down the Golden State Warriors. They've been tough in these scenarios, bagging 4 out of 5 this season. But watch out, that stamina could be wearing thin. History isn't on the Kings' side, with a 10-game losing streak against the Bucks and barely beating the spread in 3 of those. In their last 5 showdowns in Milwaukee, the Kings haven't snatched a single win and only beat the spread once. Injury updates throw in a twist. The Kings might be missing Kevin Huerter, while the Bucks are without Jay Crowder. Breaking it down, while the Bucks are the top dogs, the Kings could shake things up. They're hungry to snap their losing streak and might just exploit Milwaukee's wariness. They might not walk away with a W, but could sneak past the 5.5-point spread, especially with the Bucks feeling the heat after their recent game and showing some cracks in their armor. I'm putting my money on the Kings to beat the spread, with total points ducking under the 248.5 mark. Despite Milwaukee's dominance, the Kings' quick moves and the potential wear and tear on the Bucks could keep things tighter than many expect. Remember, this hunch is all about gut feeling, not just the stats. For those looking to lay down a bet, I'd say do your homework on both teams before taking the plunge. Today's prediction is for the game between Los Angeles Clippers and Minnesota Timberwolves. Tonight's hardwood showdown features the Los Angeles Clippers going head-to-head with the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Clippers, boasting a solid 25-13 record, have been tearing up the court with some serious game. They're the kings of the Pacific Division and sitting pretty at 4th in the Western Conference. Their scoring game is tight, ranking 5th in the league with an offensive rating of 120.1, while their defense isn't slacking either, at 114.2 and 11th place. The Clippers are killing it from beyond the arc, leading the league with a stunning 39.3% in threes. Looking at their recent form, the Clippers are on fire, dominating the spread in 6 of their last 8 games and bagging 8 wins out of 9 straight up. But they've had a tough time against the Timberwolves, only managing a 1-4 record, both against the spread and straight up, in their last 5 matchups. On the road, they're formidable, with a 9-3 straight-up record in recent away games, though they've struggled in Minnesota, with the total often going over in 9 of their last 11 games there. The Timberwolves are a force to be reckoned with at home, rocking a 16-2 straight-up record in their last 18 on their own turf. They're consistently strong, with a 13-7 straight-up record in their last 20 games. While they've been less impressive against Pacific Division teams, with a 1-5 record against the spread in their recent 6, they're tough competitors in the Western Conference, with a 12-4 straight-up record in their last 16. Stat-wise, the Timberwolves are a bit behind the Clippers in field goal and three-point percentages, but have the upper hand in rebounds per game. The Clippers' sharpshooting might be the game changer here, especially given their current form. For the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards is the game changer. If he's balling out tonight, the Timberwolves might just school their rivals. However, Edwards' playtime is a wild card, and with the Wolves now the dark horses, it's a tough shot to call. Keep tabs on the injury bench. Based on the Clippers' recent slam dunk performances, their stat sheet dominance, the question mark hovering over Edwards, and even with their past missteps in the Wolves' den, I'm swinging towards the Clippers taking it home, with the scoreboard staying shy of 231.5. The Clippers are on fire, with their sharp shooting possibly tipping the scales in this tight game. I'm backing the Clippers to clinch the victory, especially if Edwards doesn't step on the court today. The last prediction for today is for the matchup between Phoenix Suns and Portland Trail Blazers. The upcoming clash on the hardwood between the Phoenix Suns and the Portland Trail Blazers at the Moda Center is shaping up to be a real barn burner, with plenty of angles to dissect for those hoopheads making the call. The Suns are on a hot streak, nailing 6 wins in their last 9 outings. They're lighting up the scoreboard with 115, 6 points per game on a sizzling 48% from the field, while their D is locking down opponents to 114.3 points on 46.8% shooting. With ballers like Kevin Durant and Devin Booker bringing their A-game, the squad is lethal from downtown and at the charity stripe. Their recent takedown of the Lakers was a showcase of their scoring chops and tempo control. Meanwhile, the Blazers are in a bit of a rough patch, dropping 6 out of their last 7. They're putting up 107.1 points on 43% field goal shooting, but on the flip side, they're leaking 116.8 points on a 49.5% opponent shooting clip. Despite some standout plays from Anthony Simmons and Jerami Grant, the team's been falling short. Their recent blowout loss to the Thunder really spotlighted their defensive woes and offensive struggles. Looking at the stats in recent form, the Suns seem to have the edge with their balanced and explosive offense, plus a slightly tighter defense. The Blazers' inability to stifle scoring drives and their own scoring hiccups put them on the back foot. Given the Suns' squad health and recent momentum, they look primed to beat the spread in this showdown. Considering the Blazers' recent history of not beating the spread and the Suns' firepower, it's a solid bet that the Suns will surpass the spread. Also, factoring in both teams' game pace and scoring trends, it's likely the total score will dip below the set mark. So, my prediction is leaning towards the Suns beating the spread, but my money's on the total points staying shy of 225. The Suns' robust defense and the Blazers' lackluster offense give me confidence this game won't cross the over-under line.